A Florida man, a Trump-supporting Florida man, is now pleading with Trump to, quote, work something out after ICE agents swooped in, detained his wife, and deported her back to Venezuela.
Welcome to Jimosi Podcast. So this week we are going to look at one of the developing stories that is happening right now after Trump took office. Tangu Trump achukue office, when he was sworn in, signed a lot of executive orders.
Okay.
And one of these executive order is deportation of illegal immigrant. Illegal immigrant ni wale wenye the legal status is expired. So
like how?
Well, if you are a visitor and your time has expired, then you're supposed to have returned to your country or whatever.
Okay.
If you came into the country without even any document, you came through the border illegally, no papers, no nothing,
like asylum
then you
seeking.
are illegal. Yeah, and based on what they were saying, yeah, but I have to confirm what they were saying. At least 11 million are in US illegally. And during his campaign trail, he was saying that he will deport illegal immigrant, and a lot of people will charge up with that story. And one of his voters, the one that voted for him, wanted this illegal immigrant to be deported.
Okay.
But he forgot that his wife, bibi yake mwenyewe,
is in US illegally.
is in US illegally, not yet confirmed. As much as the voter is a US citizen, and now they're in the process of getting the wife to be also legally in US. It was in the process, right? So it was in the line, and as you can see, 11 million illegally. So there's a long line.
So the wife is part of the 11.
Yeah. So during the ICE, or they call it ICE raid, his wife was busted. Na sahi ako kwa hizo sales za kutolewa, so he was
awaiting deportation.
Yes.
Early days of these ICE raids, a Florida man, a Trump-supporting Florida man, is now pleading with Trump to, quote, work something out after ICE agents swooped in, detained his wife, and deported her back to Venezuela. This is a woman who was in the process of getting her papers in order, trying to do everything the right way, as they say, but it didn't matter. She's gone. Her husband is begging, please let my wife stay here. She deserves to be here. So let's check out this video and then talk about it.
They turned off the cameras, excuse my language, and then they took my wife.
This man who wished not to be identified says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. I'm told the 2 others were men who worked in construction. You see them here. This video, only a minute and 52 seconds long, we do not see his wife being removed from the home. But this is a picture of her that he keeps in his wallet. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything's good. He just came in and snatched her.
These are pictures from the Department of Homeland Security detaining other undocumented men and women in Broward County.
It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing.
President Donald Trump arrived at his Trump National Golf Resort in Doral Saturday, set to host GOP leaders for a conference. This man hopes this message makes it to him.
I get a chance to talk to you, man. Yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here, man.
I was pleading with Trump to at least do something for his wife.
Well, he's not the only person who voted for Trump, who has someone that they are associated with who's in the US illegally.
Yeah, lakini unajua kitu watu walikuwa nafikiria, they were saying criminal. So these people were thinking ni wale wenye people that are doing bad thing, wale wenye wanafanya drugs, wanafanya nini, anything that is considered illegal or bad, they were thinking these were the people that were going to be deported.
Okay, going to be deported first are the only people to be deported?
They thought, because every day people keep saying, if you are in US illegally but you are a good person, then you are not a criminal. The cake is too big for you to eat, so they should not like try to get you out of the country.
Okay.
But the press secretary of the White House actually came out clear and said, when we are deporting people here, it's not people that are not doing a bad thing. Anybody that is in US territory without or with no valid papers is illegal and has broken the American laws and is a criminal. You don't have to have done something for you to be considered illegal or a bad person.
Illegal immigration into America's interior, and he expects every nation on this planet, again, to cooperate with the repatriation of their citizens who illegally entered into our country and broke America's laws. Won't be tolerated, and as you saw, the Colombian government quickly folded and agreed to all of President Trump's demands. Flights are underway once again.
Two questions on deportations, if I may. President Trump had said on the campaign trail that he would deport pro-Hamas students who are here on visas, and on his first day in office, he signed an executive order that said, quote, the U.S. must ensure that admitted aliens and aliens otherwise already present in the U.S. do not bear hostile attitudes towards the citizens, culture, government, institutions, or founding principles. So should we take this executive order as Trump saying he would be open to deporting those students who are here on visas but, hold pro-Hamas sympathies?
The president is open to deporting individuals who have broken our nation's immigration laws. So if they are here illegally, then certainly he is open to deporting them. And that's what this administration is hard at work at doing. We receive data from DHS and from ICE every single day. From what we hear on the ground, ICE agents are feeling incredibly empowered right now because they actually have a leader in this building who is supporting them in doing their jobs that they were hired to do, which is to detain, arrest, and deport illegal criminals who have invaded our nation's borders over the past 4 years. That's what the president is committed to seeing. Peter.
Very quickly, just following up on the question on immigration first. President Trump, during the course of the campaign in 2024, said the following about illegal immigration. He said, they're going back home where they belong, and we start with the criminals. There are many, many criminals. NBC News has learned that ICE arrested 1,179 undocumented immigrants on Sunday, but nearly half of them, 566 of the migrants, appear to have no prior criminal record besides entering the country illegally. Is the president still focused exclusively, which is a civil crime, it's not criminal.
It's federal crime.
So I'm asking though, he said he was going to focus on those violent offenders first. So is violent offenders no longer the predicate for these people to be deported?
The president has said countless times on the campaign trail, I've been with him at the rallies, I know you've been there covering them too, Peter, that he is focused on launching the largest mass deportation operation in American history of illegal criminals. And if you are an individual, a foreign national, who illegally enters the United States of America, you are, by definition, a criminal. And so therefore, you are subject to deportation.
I apologize for interrupting. So to be clear, violent criminals do not receive precedence in terms of the deportations taking place.
The president has also said two things can be true at the same time. We want to deport illegal criminals, illegal immigrants from this country, but the president has said that, of course, the illegal criminal drug dealers, the rapists, the murderers, the individuals who have committed heinous acts on the interior of our country and who have terrorized law-abiding American citizens, absolutely, those should be the priority of ICE, but that doesn't mean that the other illegal criminals who entered our nation's borders are off the table.
By the virtue that you came into the country with no valid papers,
you came with valid papers, but
they have also expired. Yeah, so you have not gone back. You fall into that category.
Yeah, I actually saw that interview. It was funny. And that lady, she's only 27 years old. Imagine.
The youngest. So what do you think of this Trump voter mwenye amekuwa victim of circumstances? Ama the victim of his own what?
The victim of his own doing.
Yes.
In Swahili?
Asaulike ama what do we say? Okay, say it in Swahili.
In Swahili wanasemanga kikulacho kinguoni mwako.
Yeah.
That whoever is going to harm you is someone close to you. Literally translating it to that. So Sahi, his wife is suffering because he voted.
in Trump.
Yes.
Angevote in Hillary. No, Kamala.
Kamala.
Okay, not Kamala, Kamala.
It's Kamala Harris. And you vote for Kamala, labda she would have been one voter ahead of Trump, right?
Yeah.
And then you consider other people who are also going to face the same consequences, or people whose friends, relatives, and close associates, and also colleagues from work who are going to be deported. They kind of contributed in one way or the other towards the downfall of these people who are considered illegal immigrants. Yeah, technically he contributed towards the wife
being knocked out of the out of the country.
Yes,
Sahi atakula baridi peke yake.
Anakula si atakula.
Oh, anakula peke yake.
Yeah.
And you know, like you're a regular citizen, chances of actually Trump getting your message is very low.
Yes.
But because it got the media attention, it might get help.
No, I don't think he's going to get help. Like, Trump doesn't really care.
Amekula moto Trump, eh?
Yes,
Okay.
like he's just in to implement all those things that he promised that he was going to do. I feel like Trump is kind of trying as much as possible to make sure that he's implementing things that he promised the Americans,
Yeah.
which might hurt some and favor some at the same time.
And then also there was a list yenye that was published by this. Is it I don't know where they got it. No, Juba or
okay.
Voice of Juba. I don't know where they got that document, and
Okay.
it was stating the number of people that are being deported. They were listing countries with the number of people that will be deported, and South Sudan was there with 136
Damn.
on the list to get deported.
Only Lost Boys.
I don't know who they are, so they did not mention people. They were just stating the number of people that will be deported. Yeah, so did you see your list yenye it was shared by the Voice of Juba, Juba I, and they were listing a number of countries with number of people that will be listed. So
That will be deported.
that will be deported, sorry. And when I can number, it's not like they're writing the names of the people, right?
Yeah.
So, and I saw South Sudan, there was written South Sudan, 136 individuals.
136 people.
136, yeah, 136
that's a lot.
individuals to be deported. But it's not a lot. Or
Out of what, 11
the
million?
credibility of the paper itself, that's what I question, because
Yeah.
if the US system in Asema 11 million people are staying illegally, and if you add up the numbers that were shown on that paper, they don't even add even to 100,000.
Maybe that's just a small list.
Maybe of people that have already been captured.
Probably, yeah. Because it's not like they already have the 11 million people in their deportation cells or something. Yeah.
And there was this other story tied to it yenye nilisikia kwa Kenya wakisema if you snitch on somebody,
Goja,
you
before
are
you
paid.
go there.
No, there's a question that I'm tying to it.
Oh,
That
okay.
if you snitch on somebody, you are paid 750 US. Do you think
dollars.
750 US
I
dollars?
thought I saw like 1,000. dollars.
The first story was 750.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so the first story was 750, which was a rumors, turned out not to be true.
Okay.
And then Mississippi wanted to introduce a law that will give bouncy
Bouncy hunters. something
hunters,
like
people
that.
that were looking for people to be paid 1,000. So
Yeah.
there's a different story. 20 and I said, yeah, 750. Do you think if it was true that watu wanalipwa 750 to snitch on other people, unafikiria this 136 South Sudanese, kuna mtu alikuwa amekaa somewhere anahesabu 136 multiplied by 750, pesa ngapi hiyo? Ash, pesa rahisi. Yani, niko
That you.
yeah, niko na Jimosi hapa hana papers. Hiyo 750 anguke kwa account. Let it drop in the bank account. and then next there's Majuk, there's whatever, a lot of. Do you think Wasudi wanaweza snitch on each other just to get a payment of 750?
Personally, I don't think so. One, because most of our people, as much as wameka hapa Maju, they have lived in the US, in the Western world for that long. They rarely get information. Like, majority of people are not well informed, and then they'll not even like, where do you get to search like the phone number or those anonymous reporting lines and all that. So I don't think they would have snitched on. Maybe wale vierere, those who have access to social media and stuff, and then in my haters, how ndio wanaweza fanya hiyo kazi.
But anyway, ni rahisi, maybe it's easy for people to snitch on other people because unaonanga community is small. So every time mtu anakuja kuna hizi za kwenda kukaribisha mtu. So hadi you know you are coming into the country illegally, but you want to show people I don't know which part of the world that or on social media that umefika Maju, so you call people and then unajua what people like, alikuja aje, ni mtu ameolewa ama amekuja aje, watu wanasema no ni ile ya 6 months lakini anapanga kukaa. Unaona that information ishaenda nje already.
Our people don't know how to keep secrets.
So anybody that has ill intentions, si anajua penye unaishi, because this information is easily shared with people. Anajua your phone number,
anaambia nyimbo, anaambia acho,
ama akona your Facebook account, and anza stories hapo ni kama anataka kugotea lakini anataka kujua where you are staying. And if they happen to hope on that story, like a lot, inaweza kuwa like wale wenye walikuja kitambo, their mind is not that open to know that you can just go into Google search and type in ICE and then contact number and make a phone call. So unaona sasa tukikuja Maju, for some reason we want to let other people know that tumefika, that we are in US, we are in Australia, we are in Canada, and sometimes our people are not good in keeping some of their personal information confidential. So somebody can easily ask you,
how did you come?
How did you come here? Where una kierere yako? You just go into it and say, you disclose details of
too much information.
Na unajua venye sahi there's a lot of jealousy that's ongoing. So sometimes you don't even know even your enemies. So out of that kunaweza kuwa na watu when you wanajua some information and you will disclose, and they know how to contact ICE, and they can easily call, and that 136, if we were to go with the fact that people are being snitched on, then maybe kuna a couple of people that were snitched on there.
That's very possible.
Ama zile za communities there. Man mwenye B. I hate them. Sasa unawewe ni mwenye unasikia na unasema lazima tuwe watanijua.
Ndio panyago.
Ama unasema bora watanijua. Ala purura bai.
Bila nira borich.
So it's a kind of things. But the takeaway from this is some of your personal information or how you are going about your life, you don't have to let the public know. Just keep it to yourself. Because if you happen to be deported now, who are we to blame? Is you, right?
Because you might not have told the entire community during these welcoming events, but then you ended up sharing that information with your relative or friend, and the friend has another friend who has friends. So that information keeps on from one person to the next, and then before you know it, ICE.
Wow.
They are raiding your house. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel bad because just like we said earlier, that not everyone who is being deported is a criminal. But just that the fact that they are saying so long as you are in the US illegally, you are a criminal.
You are broken the US laws.
The law. And then kuna watu wenye, let's say for instance watu kama Kenyans, those people are very hardworking. Waki-migrate, they go and make the most. Unaona, even those who go to places kama Saudi Arabia has house helps. Wanaendanga, they get money and they even go back home and rebuild. So like they have a lot of success stories such that imagine mtu amekuja hapa, you are helping your family, unajijenga, and then all of a sudden kuna mtu amesnitch on you, or like ICE imekukujia hivyo and you now have to go back to Kisii, huko side za Moranga, sijui wapi, you are going to restart again. And then it's not like wanakuambia sasa tumekushika, uza nyumba yako ama uza gari yako and everything that you have, and then unarudi kwenu. So it's really sad.
Yeah. Na kama ungekuwa US na at least unajua 1,000 people that are there illegally, will you collect your 75,000? Waende wateseko na Salva Kiir ama the cake is too big for, or you, I'm like, will you collect the 75,000 ama utaacha 2,000 South Sudanese waendelee kukaa?
Acha tu kila mtu akae hadi yashikwe kivyake bila dom to rely or anything, but I will not snitch on someone.
Yeah, because look at it.
It's not benefiting you.
But how do you even know 1,000 people to give you 75,000?
It's
and
possible.
Then, no, 1,000 people that are illegal.
It's very possible. Unajua watu wetu wanapenda kuishi in small communities, right? And then kila mtu anajuana, like almost everyone. As I was saying, watu wetu wanajuana most of the time, and then unaona hizi events hadi unapata watu wa Australia, sijui Canada, US, wapi, watu wameconverge at one place, wanafanya celebrations ama hizi leadership. So it's very easy to track people down, and then social media pia.
Yeah,
so
like
you can just guess. Or like those people wenye unawajua, unatuma their information.
Yeah, they will go and verify who is there illegally and who is not there, who is there legally, and then you collect on people that are illegal. But the thing is, will not have even 1,000 South Sudanese that are illegal, because the process of getting into US
is not easy.
It's not easy. It takes a lot of hassle to get through the desperate journeys that people have to go through.
Yeah.
And it involves a lot of money to get through all the process to come and cross illegally. So that one, I would say it will not have a lot of South Sudanese affected. But the thing is, this thing of 750 is not true. If you go online and search ICE, 750 price for snitching on illegal people, no, it's not there. It was not true. And no one has actually snitch on anyone. If anybody is reporting on people, then it's out of hatred. It's not based on any price point. And yeah, but let's say if a person was to, let's say uko in US illegally, na kuna high chances hii kitu ita catch up with you at one point. How do you prepare for that deportation? Mi nitaenda kwanza. Sana when it come to pesa zako that you have. Kitu ya kwanza, kama umekopesha watu pesa, please make sure that kila mtu amerudisha pesa yako.
Yes.
Juu ukideportiwa tu hivi, hiyo pesa hutawahi pata. Kitu ya pili is the money that you already have. Where do you keep it? Because nasikia ukishikwa tu na watu wa ICE tu hivi, kitu wanatoa ni simu. Na hiyo simu hutawahi kuwa na access to it hadi hiyo siku ya deportation. And in the process, maybe the ICE have the access, or the US have the access of blocking all your financial details, that you cannot do any further transactions once you are in the system. So kwangu jinsi ya kujipanga vizuri, how to prepare yourself for this unknown, is to make sure that kama uko na bank account nyumbani, eka your personal bank account, make sure a way of getting your money into your personal bank account,
like in your country,
in your native home. That's when we talk of home, is not US account. It's your native home. Ama kama uko na M-Pesa, you have any mobile money account, try to put them there. if there's not an option, because unajua sometime when you send, I will not recommend sending to relatives and friends.
It's same.
Yeah, because wanaweza kula pesa yako and then kubajala tail when you get there on ground. It's not worth it. Kitu ya pili, another way to keep your money safe is kama hapa uko na some of your trusted friends. So these friends wanajua value ya kutafuta hizi pesa.
Yes.
So hawata kuharibu. And it should be a good friend mwenye unamwamini, mwenye akona legal status. Unasema nani nishiki pesa yangu,
utanitumia
nikishikwa tu hivi kama if you don't get my phone call ama nini tena jua nimeshikwa. And then utanitumia nikienda on ground if I'm deported. If I'm successful utakuja tu kwenye transferia back when I'm here, but if I'm not successful with the process, then ikifika on ground utanitumia. So option 1 is to have your personal nini huko penye unaweza zituma in your name.
Yes.
Ama ya pili, a good friend of yours mwenye anaweza keep that money for you ukiwa hapa.
Yeah, in the meantime.
Yeah.
Ama ukishikwa and then urudi nyumbani, you just get in contact with them and wasukume hiyo pesa.
Yes, and if you have other personal belonging of high value, well, like, if it is me naziuza. Mimi sitaki kujua because ukishikwa tu hivi hakuna mtu atakuja kwa room yako to come now clear.
Yeah.
And even your friends, let's say uko na viatu kalikali za Jordan za $200 ama $500. Wanaweza kuja kwa room yako wasema nilipata roommate yako washa nini kila kitu, or there was nothing, when a real wanaweza kwa hata wanaivaa. And you will never come and Jordan na utasema hizo Jordan zangu zinatengenezanga uniform. So kwa tuna jipange tu ni kama yani time kwa ndeza haribika.
Especially now that wanaendaga kukamata watu at their workplace. I've seen a lot of videos online, not sure if they are all true ama kuna watu wameanza kutengeneza maskits, but kuna zile zenye wanaenda workplace and then mnasanywa while you are on your shift.
Yeah, most of raids are happening at the workplace because they know like factories, farms, they know like workplaces zenye zitakuwa na a lot of immigrants. So hizo places they wanna target.
And then niliona juzi wakifanya a list of all the nini, like most, not really all, but most of the companies that hire immigrants. That's not to say illegal immigrants, but a lot of immigrants. Unajua when you come to a new country, you don't have the right qualification, right?
Yeah.
Like in terms of, most of the time
work
they want you to have work experience of that country.
Yes.
So most of us, we start with the manual labor. Hizo nini unofficial work, not like unofficial but zile nini kazi za mkono, and then you work your way up, you gain that experience, and then from one job to another you now become someone mwenye ako na experience ya hapa. So with that in mind, waka list all the companies that hire like immigrants. Yes, and then in those places you earn minimum wage. Okay, I think minimum wage iko kila mahali, but in most nini kuna ile standard countrywide minimum wage. So that's where you start. Watu wakaanza kunini, and then some people are like boycott this. It's like they're giving ICE tips on where to locate people. So some people wakaanza kusema people are not going to work because they know if you are illegally in the US and then you go to work, most likely utaenda uvamiwe.
Well, unajua sometime these governments the Western government have a lot of powers when it comes to obtaining of information.
Yes.
What they can do,
information.
They can just go to that employer even when you are not there, and they request for the payroll ya watu wenye nafanya. And when you work there even on a daily basis, you are not the regular employees, they will have your information, because hawezi kuja kufanya kazi with no ID. Who are you? You must have a name to yourself. So that company, by law, they're obligated to give out your information.
Yes.
They can just put your information into their system and they will locate you where you are residing, because
address.
most of they will come with your address, your phone call. So listing and saying, oh, I'm not going to work, is one way of delaying it.
Yes,
but it's not the ultimate solution, because this Western government, they have access to a lot of information.
Imagine even your employer kona your address.
So nilikuwa nasema they can go to employer and get the payroll list. Watu wanafanya kazi huko, and then they get it from their system. Your address, your phone, all your last name,
kila
kitu, and they can get you if they need it. Nile too, like, and then also as much as ukiavoid hiyo, you have to stay home. Juu hata ukiendesha gari, polisi anaweza amua tu akusimamishe. And ukisimamishwa, they must take your ID, and then they go back to their car. They run in the system, in the police car system. Sometimes the system can give a lot of details about you. But when country is in a good condition, they will just concentrate with what they want. If the country is just okay, there's no illegal immigrant situation that is a big thing of the talk, even though they see you are there illegally and nothing has brought it up, they will just let it slide if you have not break any law.
But if you are broken, it means maybe you ran the red light, you are speeding, or
sometimes it's just like a regular checking.
Kuna kwanga na hizo wellness check.
So si lazima umefanya kitu yoyote. Lakini if you are stopped and then it happened that you did something and then the police for some reason were looking for you, sinakuwa siku yako hiyo. But now that kuna hii history ya deportation, so if they run in their system, you have been a good residents, not a legal. You have been a good resident that was there illegally. Now, but the big talk of the country is about illegal immigrant. You will be put into this. They got one person here.
Unfortunately, they have to let you go.
It's not. They feel sorry for you, but they just have to do their work. Unaona? So jinsi ya kuavoid hizi vitu, ukiona mtu anakaanga reckless, jaribu kuavoid, usikae tu akiwa driver, wewe sema tu I will take TTC, I will take the public transport. I recommend public transport in this situation, because when you drive, unajua sometimes they profile people, right? Unaona watu yenye iko na watu yenye si weupe, si wazungu, wanawasimamisha. And hapo kuna nuka. And then saa hii nilikuwa nasikia kina watu wengine wakisema it is yuko US, so long as uko na accent tu hivi, this is not one of us. So sasa lazima hata kama wewe ni citizen lakini ya accent bado ijakuwa kama ya Black American. Itabidi sasa utakuwa unatembea na passport yako kwa mfuko. Kikushika I'm a citizen or I'm a green card resident. So
also on the part of people like how to prepare for your deportation. To add on to what you just said, I think now is the right time. You know, hapa Maju there's a lot of good transport system. You can easily move from point A to B using the bus. So kama uko na gari, just sell it, because I know a lot of our people wanapenda kungaria watu na magari. You find someone earning like, let's say, up to 30 to 50k gross income, or even net income, and then they buy gari close to 50k. So if you buy that, because you are able to finance your car, so long as you have deposit and some kind of fair credit score to good, they'll charge you interest and all that. So if you have a new car, so long as it's not like an old second-hand car, just sell it. kama itakupatia up to like 10k, because I'm sure there's someone who can sell their car and they get up to 10k. If you can get that, just sell it and use that money to survive. And also because you can easily move from different points cheaply. And you get to pocket that money. You ukishikwa and then you are deported, that car belongs to the bank or to the dealership. And you are done. If you have a house, I don't know if someone can buy a house though.
I think it used to happen, but you have to be I don't know what you will be thinking if you actually do that. It's better if you are here illegally. The first step should have look for a way to get your status right, and then now you can go ahead buy the house. And otherwise, if you just want to invest, stock market would be the best one. You just buy some shares hapa na pale, na vitu zikinuka, you just sell and then you move. Like the way that we mentioned, how you can keep your assets or your money
in liquid cash.
In liquid cash back home or with your friends. Unaona? Lakini sasa kama ulinunua nyumba, sasa ulikuwa unafikiria nini? Sometimes, it might be like some financial issue there that somebody told you this is a good asset, but you have to consider yourself, right? And so if somebody had a house, that will be a tough one. That will be a tough one.
Because putting it up in the market, I think you come into contact with the realtors.
No, that's not the right thing. No, that's not the right thing to do right now. I don't know, like maybe there's somebody out there, but I'm not sure if a lot of illegal immigrants have houses at this time. I guess most of them are renting. But for the cars, it's easy. Sometimes they say we don't care about your credit, even when you have a poor credit, just come. Because what they initially or technically what they do is that so long as you can afford to make that few payment, they don't care, because any time the day that you will miss the payment, oh man, they will just come and collect the car, and they know where the car is. They just come and collect, and they have already taken part of your money, and they go and sell to somebody else on finance. And if that person go and break the financing again or the lease, wanaenda wanachukua tena wanauza the same car. So they're never running in losses. So that's why sometimes they say we don't care about your credit. It's because they know the powers that they have.
And also because of the fact that they are charging you interest. So if you calculate that amount of money, if you were to pay in cash versus when you are buying on finance, then you'll see that you are going at a loss as an individual. Either way, they are making their profit. And they are making more profit if you are buying it on finance, because they are taking higher risk of selling the car to you when you don't have the money of paying in cash.
So that was it for today. Story ya deportation ilikuwa imeshika for the last 2 weeks, but sasa hii shift to trades or the tariff. So tariff for the last 2 to 3 days has been talk of the week all over, because Trump is trying to impose tariff on most of the countries. So we'll do full analysis on tariff or what's happening with tariffs in the next few days. But for now, that was it for the deportation. Subscribe to Jumosi Podcast, and where you get updated.
So with that, I will take your questions. John, please kick us off.
Thank you very much. Caroline, in your first briefing, the media went after this administration for deporting illegal immigrants they claimed were not criminals. The question is, do you think they're out of touch with Americans demanding action on our border crisis?
The media out of touch? I think that media certainly is out of touch, and I think that's proven by a number of things, John. Number one, there was a New York Times poll that was released prior to President Trump's inauguration by the New York Times, which of course is a legacy media outlet, that showed that 83% of Americans support deporting the individuals that you mentioned, illegal immigrant criminals, especially those who have committed heinous crimes in the interior of our country. And I received a very actually interesting statistic on this front from ICE this week. 97% of the deportations that this administration has made thus far are of individuals who had a removal order from the previous administration, but were never removed from the interior of our country. So this shows that the previous administration was actually defying our laws, and all this administration is doing is simply following the laws, the immigration laws of this great country. Thanks for the question, John. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, great. Peter.
Thanks, Caroline. If President Trump is telling us that air traffic control towers are staffed with unqualified controllers, these DEI